His presentation, and of course LIUJ's as well. Okay, so our final presenter here this morning is Josh Liu, who is with Jackson National, overseeing their annuity valuation area. Josh is going to get into some real specifics around a particular product area and some of the risk reporting around that. So as I said at the outset this morning, we're covering the broad array of risk reporting, including the product specific level. I've known Josh for many years. Josh and I presented at a very interesting seminar within a seminar at the 2008 spring meeting, SOA spring meeting, when we did a series of sessions on model efficiency. Josh presented on the topic of scenario reduction techniques at that 2008 seminar, and I must say it was a time when I think those techniques were really in their infancy, and Josh certainly contributed significantly to the thinking in the actuarial profession in that area. I remember Josh referring to something called snowball sampling, which I still need Josh to explain that to me, but certainly it's an expression my kids enjoy me talking about. Anyway, let me pass things over to Josh. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. I don't think we have a PowerPoint showing on the screen yet, so let me see which one should I do. Slideshow? Is that?
Yeah, do that.
I'm beginning? I don't know? All right, good morning. Yesterday when I sit in the one section and I see that there are 40 minutes until later on I try to ask the gentleman seat beside me, say, how come I kind of lost, I don't follow the topic. And he reminded me that's the topic is more health related, so that is why I stay there longer. Today we are going to cover the risk analysis reporting, particularly on the EIA product. Hopefully you are not sitting in the wrong section. All right, let me give you some introduction about the EIA today. So the presentation is going to break into two parts. The first part is talk about the valuation. I know maybe some of you, I don't have the time to ask you if you are working on valuation or not, but assume you are. Even though you are not, that will be fine. We are going to go over some mechanical part. Second piece of presentation will be the risk analysis and management issue. I'm going to talk about all the risks can impact your risk analysis when you build the framework. So, well, people probably wonder how you connect these two pieces. So in between, I try to explain what's the connection between this valuation and the risk management. Because most actuaries think they are unrelated. Some people think they are, and I have my opinion, so hopefully I can share with you today. All right, disclaimer, since I only have 20 minutes as well, and I try to get things a little bit fast, I'm not going to drill down the detail how the accounting rule apply or specific the guidance we should follow, okay? But when we go through the slide, I will touch each piece. So if you have a question, this is safe until later, we can cover that. All right, first things first, see, once I have a disclaimer, I can jump the slide quite fast to meet my 20 minutes target. So bifurcation, if anyone asks you, okay, what's that the FAST 133 all about? When you walk out this door, tell people say bifurcation. People at least think you are half expert. Right? So let's see how it works. So this is the mechanical part. Pretty much this, if you follow this bifurcation process before, okay? If you remember this 4 step, then that's how you bifurcate. By the definition, so since the EIA has 2 pieces of the return, the one in the way you can treat a fixed annuity, the other part is participating for the index return, right? So based on regular guideline that if the hybrid contract has that two economic property, you gotta separate it. So just for reserving purpose, okay? So ideally you can see this OBR, and then once, let's not back down this a little bit. I have two slides to talk about this OBR, is the option budget rate. Usually it's the LN guy, risk management guy, hedging team provide this information to you. Treat this as an input factor. Once you get into that, and you can calculate this so-called VED. The VED is the value of an embedded derivative. In a way, is the co-option reserve. Okay. Once you figure out that, right away since the bifurcation, you can take the initial premium, chop it off. That's the leftover is called the GHC. In a way, is your gross host contract. Okay, here I want to mention a little bit. You will cut why the EIA could be kind of a little bit complicated when you do a reserving on the GAAP rule, accounting rule, because you have so many accounting rules can apply. FAS 97 dictated the DAC amortization. FAS 133, the one we just talked about the bifurcation. Not only that, these things make it even better. You have this kind of GHC to meet your the minimum guarantee when the contract reaches your end of index period. Got it so far? So in that part, so what kind of method used is a constant yield method. It's FAS 91, right? So, but to reach that point is called IRR. You calculate internal rate of return. Some companies consider that called imputed rate. So it's your benchmark. What does that mean? Just when you bifurcate it, okay, you have a reserve for your option piece that very likely you treat as purchase your co-option premium. So that fund can very likely drain out. So you still want to fulfill your liability once the product reaches maturity. So that is why your GHC have to grow with your imputed rate, reach to the index maturity. All right. So let's talk about a little bit more detail the following slide. So this one is what I'm talking about. So once you get the OBR, which is the option budget rate, in a way it's a constant yield rate. You just use that, project into the future. Here use the 9-year index period. So you just multiply that. Here I remember when I calculated it's about 5%, a little bit over 5%. I will cover that. How does this information come in? Usually it's follow the Black-Scholes co-option theory. You can calculate that. Second piece is the guarantee fund value. I mentioned at the very beginning when you issue the equity index annuity, right? They usually say, hey, guess what? The worst scenario, I return the premium, or, okay, it's a percentage of your initial premium pay accumulate at the guarantee rate. So whoever is the highest one, the maximum, you can take a floor. So little blue line is kind of floor for that. Now, once you have that option budget rate, which is dictated to your guarantee, right? So this is called the excess fund value. In a way, you can treat as discount back calculate present value with company best estimated assumption, which we are talking about GAAP. So that including your input for your mortality rate and the lapse rate. Okay. You got that, and you discount back. Literally, that's your VED, value of embedded derivative. And like I mentioned, so this value is about what, 21,000. You use 100,000 initial premium current subtract that information, you got the GHC. Easy, all right? So GHC now, remember we just talked about, you need to go back to the guarantee fund value once you reach the index period. Okay, so this one, in a way, you can solve it, your internal rate return, which is some company call it imputed rate, stuff like that. All right, okay, this is the fun part. I want to spend, this is the internal rate return I talk about. Just you can use a very simple Excel spreadsheet to solve it with your result. I would like to talk about a little bit this slide because sometimes this depends on your product design. some of the product design are not necessarily easily to find a solution. Let me give you a very quick example. So this is sometimes when, if you are product development pricing, design the EIA product, you probably need to think about it. Sometimes you create some headache for the valuation attribute here. The reason is if the function is not monotonically increasing or monotonically decreasing, so because of product design, and you might think about that, if the 9 years index period is what, you can literally think about is a nice degree polynomial. Go ahead, solve it, all right? You can literally come to 9 different solution. So not until it's monotonic increasing or decreasing, so you can solve the unique answer. So when you process valuation, each month, if you do month end, you will have a lot of policy get kicked out because some of your valuation system couldn't handle it. Maybe most of you already noticed that, but if you don't, think about that. All right, let me summarize what's going on. So all these kind of 9 different slides, I go to put in the one slide, so help you organize it. So if you look at that, the first 5 pieces, in a way, is a stepwise process for you to calculate the VED, value of embedded derivative, which is the co-option piece, okay? The second piece is that blue, the 4 little slide. That's finally you get your gross host contract and solve your IRR. All right, I know this is very quick. I almost